So around 5 or 6 in the morning my time, the Forsaken update dropped. It was meant to drop at, I believe it was like 7 to 8 p.m. my time. I'm in Eastern time, by the way. It ended up getting delayed because there was some data issues resulting in people who were joining private servers were resulting in data loss. And among other things, there was, I believe, some other bugs, but the most notable one was the data loss. So this is a new recording. I recorded the rest of the dialogue you're going to hear in the video after this intro yesterday. I had recorded it while I was actually waiting for Forsaken to come back up, because while we were waiting for the game to come back up, I just decided I might as well already make the video, because I didn't get to play for too long, but I played, I believe, at least like 1 or 2 pubs, and I kind of saw everything I needed to see, because, well, this update isn't really anything too big. It's just mainly about, you know, Jason being transformed into Slasher, and Slasher is now the first original killer to be in the game. And yeah, I do want to clarify some things in this video because I had originally talked about the data loss issues and I talked about the data store stuff, and I'd preface that I'm not a smart coder and I don't know much about coding, and I don't really know how this whole data loss thing flew over everybody's heads. I don't know how, you know, with all the testing they said they were doing, how this happened and nobody noticed. But I had later been informed and saw on Twitter as well that this stuff mainly happened because it was due to private servers, and, you know, private servers aren't exactly the prominent place that will be tested. As well as, you know, there is a Forsaken in-dev, which can't have private servers because it's not a public place. So that is why this private server issue was unknown to the developers and to the public. So anytime you hear me mention the data store stuff in this video, I'm going to crop out most of the part where I talked about it because, you know, I figured out now why that happened. But you might hear when I'm discussing other topics, I kind of trace back to the data store issue. That might happen. So if that does happen, then just kind of ignore it, because I figured out the whole context of that stuff and it all makes sense to me now. So don't worry about that stuff. Hi, fellas. So decided to make my video a little bit early. I was going to make it after I played the Slasher update, but it's been 2 hours since the game has been down after trying to update, and I just decided I'd make this video because I was able to play for a little bit before the game got shut down, and I think I was able to see most of what I wanted to see. I didn't get to actually play, but I saw that, you know, I saw the content and stuff like that, and I just wanted to kind of talk about it, because this update I've had a few gripes, and I just want to talk about it. So as you also know, the star of this update is Jason being removed from the game and becoming his own original character, Slasher. Jason was changed into an original character due to copyright issues, since the Friday the 13th owners have shown to be pretty strict on Daddy Voorhees. So yeah, Friday the 13th the game and Multiverses, which have both included Jason, are fucking dead. Multiverses, I think, was for a number of reasons, but Jason was one of their last updates, so I'm still going to use it as proof that your game is cursed if you add Jason to it. I want Jason in Dead by Daylight, but Dead by Daylight might be Dead by the 13th. I understand the worry of having Jason in your game when it's very popular and has definitely caught the attention of the rightful owners, but I feel like he's not the only character that should be worried about that's currently in-game. In late April, Forsaken released an update that contained a bunch of Earthbound skins, and if I know a thing or two about Nintendo, I know that they don't play nice. Now again, another preface here, if I'm wrong on any of this information, then feel free to let me know, because sometimes Unk has a sack of coal for a brain. So if I'm just spewing gobbledygook and hullabaloo, let me know. But I'm pretty sure I'm right about the Earthbound skins being a one-way ticket to controversy with Nintendo. It'd be a different story if they were given titles that describe the characters, but they're quite literally just directly named after the Earthbound characters. And I feel like it's sort of a miracle that Nintendo has not noticed that, because I feel like if those skins get caught or noticed, then the game might be in deep shit. I also believe that it was sort of forgotten that Slasher is the star of this update. Instead of Slasher himself getting a trailer was made for one of his skins, known as Stichhare. The skin is coalescent with Umbra Noli, both of them being from the same series, I guess you'd call it. The trailer was like analog horror-esque. It kind of seemed like it was trying to give Walton Files vibes. I'm kind of unsure why a skin for Slasher got a trailer, but Slasher himself got nothing besides, you know, being in-game. And I kind of want to expand on this topic. People know that Jason's transformation to Slasher was the main thing regarding this update. So I would have made a trailer introducing Slasher's arrival into the Spectre's universe. I would have done like a fake out, playing as if Jason didn't actually leave, but then the camera reveals that Slasher is now a new original antagonist to the Forsaken Killer roster, being the first original killer to be in-game. I think if you're going to make a trailer for skins, then you should do it in batches. You should kind of do it like Super Smash Bros., where you're showing multiple interesting skins coming up at once, rather than just devoting an entire trailer to one skin. Whether it be animating small segments to like show a fraction of the skin and let people get excited and theorize, or just show a brief moment of in-game footage with the skins in action. Just a quick showcase that gets people riled up and excited. Not a trailer for one skin. That just really feels like overkill, I'm not gonna lie. It legit just feels like overkill. I really think that taking this path with trailers is the better way to go because, again, Slasher is the theme of this update. He should have gotten a trailer. Yes, everybody knows he's coming, but having a trailer for his arrival is still cool. He is the theme of this update, and you can put it like with the thumbnails. You know how like Roblox has a thing where you can put thumbnails and then you can put videos? You could have put that there. You could have had like a Slasher trailer as the thing, and people would have watched it. They would have thought it was cool. I wanted to talk about Slasher as a character. I have a few gripes with Slasher, I'm not gonna lie. Regarding his lore. There was an opportunity to make him an original character with neat lore, and that opportunity feels like it was completely ignored. From what I've seen, Slasher's name is still Jason, and he still hears his mother talking to him like in his head, as you know, like a good example being the Friday the 13th, the game. The person playing as Jason would hear Jason's mother speaking to him during like the whole time he's playing, whether he got stunned or the game began. Jason is hearing his mother communicate to him from the dead. For Slasher to still have that, it's so far not really seeming like much was changed. Slasher's design has him in more bulky attire, and he has the Necrobloxicon stabbed into his arm. I've seen nothing regarding what the Necrobloxicon has to do with Slasher as a character, but even if it does tie into his lore, it really won't invalidate the fact that his name is still Jason, and he still hears his mother speaking to him. It really doesn't feel like a new character. It just feels like a rushed replacement, which is really upsetting since I wanted him to have some interesting lore since, again, this is the first original killer we're seeing in-game. The only difference I know of Slasher is he's a bacon hair, and he was, like, involved in the same war that Guest 1337 took part in. That's all I know that's different. And I know the bacon hair is true, but the Guest 1337 thing, I heard that from like a third-party source, so I don't know if that's even true or not. But that's it. That's literally it. The rest of it is just one-to-one with Jason. And I also find the name Slasher to add into the rushed replacement, as I previously mentioned, because it's a pretty monotonous name. I would have called him something like, I don't know, fucking Block Slayer, Cutthroat, or Chain Gasher. Wait. Chain Gasher is actually kind of good. Dr. WIDEBOTNIK, can you write that down? I'm writing it down as we speak. Oh yes, thank you, Dr. WIDEBOTNIK. That was actually a good one. Slasher just feels like you bought Netflix, and instead of scrolling down until you find a movie or show that catches your interest, you just click on the first thing you see and call it a day, and you don't care whether you like it or not. It just really feels like Slasher isn't a passionate character, which I find really upsetting. That's really everything I wanted to cover regarding this Forsaken update. I'm kind of sorry that it, you know, comes off like I'm just absolutely bashing this update to a pulp. I'm really not meaning to. It's just I noticed so many strange things with this update, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it because this is kind of unfortunate. Like, the main thing that's kind of upsetting me is how, you know, Slasher doesn't really feel like a new character. Yes, he's a new design, and I've seen some, like, little facts about him and whatnot, but with, you know, his name still being Jason, and the mother still, what do you say, spiritually speaking to him, it just doesn't feel like much was changed. I wanted him to be an original character. The Necrobloxicon most definitely will tie into his lore at some point, since it's a part of his design, but right now I've seen nothing. Like, I would have thought that he's some ruthless entity that possibly was summoned by the Necrobloxicon that just goes on an endless rampage of murdering innocents. Like, he's this unstoppable monster. He's immortal. He can't be stopped. Like, someone mistakenly summoned him. I'm giving you lore ideas right now. Like, Slasher was this ruthless killer that was mistakenly summoned by the Necrobloxicon, and now he's bound to the book. And the reason he's bound to the book is because if somebody gets the Necrobloxicon back, then they would be able to banish Slasher. There's your fucking lore right there. He keeps the fucking book stabbed into his body because it would be extremely tedious to pull out of his body, let alone getting that close to him. So he keeps it bound to his body so nobody can remove the book from him and banish him. He is in this realm and is not leaving. He is going to pursue a life of blood, gore, and slaughter. There's your fucking lore for Slasher right there. I just came up with that as I'm talking about this. I literally just came up with that. I'm done reading my bullet points to remember everything I wanted to talk about this video. I am off script right now. I have talked about everything I wanted to talk about because, you know, Unk's got a fucking dusty brain with cobwebs in it, and I needed to remember everything I wanted to discuss because I have a lot of topics I want to talk about. So I want to make sure that I get everything in order and talk about it in a specific line. And I just came up with that. I just came up with that Slasher lore concept. Use that! You can use that! I don't care! Credit me if you use that. That's clean lore right there. I just came up with that. Let me write Slasher. Let me write Slasher. But seriously, all in all, I hope this update goes well, and I like want everything to be fixed. I want to play the game. I want to see this stuff. I got very excited because I saw that some of my stuff was added in game, and I didn't actually know about that. Kind of felt like it was a little surprise for me, and I was like excited to see that. So I wanted, you know, I wanted to see it all. If you guys want to see the stuff that I did here, you can see it right there. There's everything I did. If you like my stuff, I'm very happy to hear that. If you don't like it, well, please tell me what you don't like about it because I love constructive criticism. But I do hope that this is reverted soon. Truthfully, once I upload this video, the update will most likely be, you know, back out. The game will be up. It'll be active. And who knows, maybe I'll be using Forsaken as gameplay for this video. I probably will because, I mean, why wouldn't I, you know? So, yeah. Hope you guys take care. And I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the Slasher update.